Have any of you questioned whether Elden Ring could be beaten at rune level 1 while being blind? If you haven't, then this is definitely not the channel for you, because that's exactly what we're tackling today. I am the blind person in question. I don't even need a blindfold or any weird glasses or anything, because I am just inherently blind. Now, that being said, I am not fully blind, I am just like 99% blind, so this is my vision going through the rest of the game. So, just in case anybody doesn't believe me about my eye condition, it is called retinitis pigmentosa. You can look it up, and I will leave a link to just some random health website in the description. Let's go into all of the setup and how I tackle every single boss, and how I try to take on rune level 1 as a blind person. So, as expected for rune level 1, we start off as the Wretched. We then go pick up Torrent, so we have some maneuverability, and then we start grabbing items. First item we grab is the Strength Knot tier. After grabbing the Strength Knot tier, I kill this knight for the Golden Vow Ash of War. After that, I bully Alexander for the Warrior Jar Shard. Then I go take out the Tibia Mariner for the Skeletal Summons. While I'm there, I pick up the Green Turtle Talisman. Then I jump into a random catacomb to pick up a Grave Glovewort 1 and 2. I then go to Death Touch Catacomb for the Uchi-Katana, and then go stumble my way through a dark cave until killing the Golem for the Blue Dancer's Charm. I then head to Weeping Peninsula and take out the Tree Avatar for the Opaline Bubble tier. This will be the most important thing in the game. And then I head up to grab the first half of the Dectus Medallion, as well as defeat the Knight for the Ash of War Bloody Slash. Since I'm in the area, I pick up the Axe Talisman, as well as the Spiked Crack tier, and then finally the Flask of Physic. I quickly go to Dragon Barrow to pick up the second half of the Dectus Medallion, as well as Radagon Soreseal. Radagon Soreseal will be the next most important item throughout the run. At this point, I feel like I have enough things under my belt, and I'm ready to fight Margit. Margit's fight is actually very simple in rune level 1 because I'm not under-leveled or over-leveled for the fight, so it's pretty back and forth. I just try to play a little bit more on the cautious side, but also try to keep the aggression up enough to continuously get stance breaks and bleed procs, and Margit goes down without too much of a problem. It was honestly kind of nice and refreshing to be able to use just a fun weapon, being the Uchi-Katana against Margit, because I do love Margit, and I do love the Uchi. Alright. There we go. Stab you with that. And I get the bleed proc there too. Perfect. Alright. I guess we'll try for another bleed proc here. Just heal that last little bit. Charge back in. Alright. There we go. Perfect. Stabby stab. Nice, good little bleed proc. Oh, fuck. That would have pissed me off if I died right there. Thank you. Margit dead. One boss down. So again, with Godric, I'm not really under-leveled or over-leveled for anything, so the fight goes very simply. I basically do light attack spam to build up bleed and a small amount of posture because he's a lot less aggressive, so posture breaks aren't as important to me during this fight. So I basically just build up bleed, and when I do get a posture break, I take advantage of it. But the fight is, honestly, even at rune level 1, just too easy. I want more out of this boss because he is so good. He's such a well-designed boss. Alright. Thank you for the stance break. Maybe. Hello? Oh. Fuck you. Bruh. Get your bitch ass down. Not fighting you when you have that bullshit. Pop. Pop. What are you doing? No, actually, what are you, Godric? Thank you. There we go. Nice bleed. Roderick, what are you trying to... Just accept your death, man. Just accept the death, man. You're not surviving this fight. Oh, alright. Sorry, forgot I said anything. Forget I said fucking anything. Yeah. Boop, boop. After Stormvale Castle is done and the first demigod is dead, now it's time for some more item pickup. The first thing I do is pick up the regular smithing stone bell-bearing 1. I then go kill Bogart for Raya's necklace to give to Raya for volcano access later. I then run up to Altus Plateau to pick up the bell-bearing number 2, as well as Ritual Sword Talisman, as I will pretty much always be at full health. I then kill a Teardrop Scarab next to Rose Church for Blood Flame Blade. I then go pick up the Two Fingers heirloom so I can actually use Blood Flame Blade before going to take on the Red Wolf of Radagon. Red Wolf of Radagon. Honestly, horrible fight at rune level 1. This is embarrassing how many tries it took me. I don't even know how many tries. Like under 20, but still fucking horrible. It's just the layering of attacks that's the problem. So he summons in these little glintstone phalanx and they will track you down, as well as he will do a combination of melee attacks as well as sword melee attacks as those come into you. So you just have to somehow get lucky and either strafe those and dodge his melee attacks or tank those and dodge his melee attacks. Sometimes you get staggered and that's just it. Overall, this fight was horrible, I hated it, and it took me far too many tries for my liking. So with Renala, first phase is pretty simple. You slap the 3 children, and then Blood Flame Blade and one-handing the Uchi-Katana allows you to build up a lot of bleed really quickly, and I'm able to one-cycle her for phase 1. Phase 2, I immediately summon the dogs as her Comet Azure goes above my head. And then with the little bit of Blood Flame Blade that I still have, I play overly aggressive to try to get another bleed and a stun, which works out for me in this case. After getting the stun, from here I need to basically just play it safe and run around and only get in attacks when I know it's safe to do so, and she will summon a lot, and from here on out it's just kind of an annoying run around, wait until her summons are gone, and then slap her once. Rinse and repeat until she's dead. Leave the dogs alone. Christ. Where the fuck did she go? She like despawned or something. Jeez. Ah, there goes my last dog. Oh my fucking god. Oh, this is so annoying. Renala, stop. Stop. Oh my god. Fucking stop. Stop. Jesus fucking Christ. You ever think you summon too much and spam too much? You ever think that? Probably not. God, you fucking summon and spam more than I do. Alright. Fuck you, bitch. So when it came to the Draconic Tree Sentinel, I tried a few different things. I initially tried just fighting it straight on, like a get good Souls player, but that didn't really work out in my favor. So after that, I had heard about this parrying technique where you can parry the Draconic Tree Sentinel right next to the edge of the cliff. Then you can just punch them off the cliff. So I tried that because I knew that was going to be faster than the method that I ended up actually landing on. And the method that I ended up landing on was going to pick up Poison Mist. And with Poison Mist, you're able to just sit behind the Draconic Tree Sentinel without it ever realizing you're there and just continuously poison it until it's dead. That being said, it did also take almost 5 minutes of just sitting there, waiting for this fucker to die. God damn, that sucked. So with access to the capital, I go pick up the ritual shield talisman. I then go buy some smithing stones from EG and pick up the Bloodhound Fang. I also go pick up Craigblade and the Starfists, as well as a Somber Smithing Stone 5, Golden Vow, Somber Smithing Stone 6, the Somber 7, the Somber 9, and the Somber 8. Now, I did all of this so I could fight Godfrey. Godfrey Shade. I didn't really actually have any plan for this fight. I didn't have any strategy. I'm actually kind of laughing at myself as I'm watching back this footage. I tanked everything with Ritual Shield and being at full health. I really didn't do this fight well at all, and it's kind of funny. I'm just gonna let the fight play in the background from here on out. Or goodbye. I'm leaving the corner. You can stay in the corner though. You can stay in the corner and think about what you did. Alright, come on. Oh, I said you could stay in the corner and think about what you did, not try to hunt me down. Ooh. Godfrey. God damn, bro. Oh, God. Godfrey. Be nice. Yeah, cocksucker. Christ, look at your health. You're almost dead. Alright. Alright, bro. You've lived too long. Thank you. Morgott time. So Morgott was actually the first roadblock for me. It took me quite a while before I could figure out what to do with him, because a lot of the time his attacks came out of my peripheral vision and I couldn't really do anything about that, or other times I would just mess up because I got greedy. There was a lot of things that allowed me to fail a lot, but the strategy that ended up working for me was summoning the 2 skeleton ashes that I talked about earlier. And with these 2 skeleton ashes, they take his aggro right off the beginning, allowing me to get off a couple heavy attacks as well as a posture break and possibly a bleed proc 2 if it works well enough. That takes out half of his health bar, allowing him to start phase 2, where I also just actually tank his phase transition with the Opaline bubble tier. That way I can continue doing a little bit of extra damage. Unfortunately, he immediately goes after my summons, killing both of them right after he enters phase 2, so I'm kinda out of summons, and from there I play it a little bit more safe and I get in attacks when I can. Oh my god, I fucking did it. I couldn't talk during that. I was just so goddamn focused. Oh, Jesus. With the capital all wrapped up, I go kill Shrubbery for the Ronin armor, I pick up the next bell bearing, and I kill the Deathrite bird in Liurnia for the red feathered branch sword, which allows me to do extra damage at low health. I then go take on Fire Giant. Fire Giant was pretty simple. Basically, I light attack his ankle until his anklet breaks, and then I just continue light attacking and running towards him and light attacking. When Blood Flame runs out, I reapply Blood Flame, and then I continue attacking his ankle. Once I hit phase 2, I had built up enough stance damage to actually end up stance breaking him, so instead of hitting his eye like I normally would, I went for the riposte for a little bit of extra Blood Flame damage into his face. With that, I then go run behind a tree and reapply Blood Flame again before basically just running up underneath him and slapping his thigh repeatedly until he's dead. It takes a long time, but it is also the safest method I found to fight Fire Giant while doing it almost hitless. Reapply Blood Flame. And we can charge right back in. Just gonna hit him once there while he does these, because I need to bait these out. Otherwise, we'll die. I mean, dying is kind of not the goal here. Okay, get a couple more thigh slaps. There's another bleed, perfect. Don't need much more now. You know what we do need? Get the fuck out of there. Alright. Charge back in. Yep. Oh, come on. Yes! Oh, Fire Giant is dead. Ah, Jesus. So, the Godskin duo. First things first, I summon Bernie, as well as my skeletal summons, and I basically take on Fatty and just keep his attention, doing damage here and there when I can, and let Bernie basically solo Skinny. Now, my reason for having Bernie solo Skinny is that way it's a 2-on-1 against Fatty later, because Fatty's attacks are kind of difficult to dodge in and of themselves, even harder when you can only take one hit. I unfortunately lost my Opaline Bubble Tier right off the bat, doing some really stupid risky maneuvers, and there was a lot of times during this fight where hitboxes were just in my favor even though I should have died. But once it's just a 2-on-1 in my favor against the Godskin duo, they go down without a single problem. Oh my god. Holy crap. Come on, Bernie. Let's do this. Hey, Evie. Welcome on in. How you doing? Ooh. I am struggling here, but I'm also doing quite well. Bop. Bop. All right. We are doing well. We are doing very well. Oh. Come on, Bernie. Hit him. Bernie. Hit him. Okay, I guess you could bow over there. Oh my god. Shit. Shit, my weapon doesn't work. Oh, thank god. Thank god, Bernie. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Bernie. Oh, my 3 minutes ran up just as that happened. Oh my god. You saved my ass. So, Malekith. This was just pain. Malekith took me, I want to say, about 15 hours to beat. I had tried out Magic, I had tried Ash of Wars, I had tried riposting, I had tried just getting good. I tried everything I possibly could. And honestly, Malekith himself wasn't the problem, it was the Beast Clergyman and this one attack. One of his attacks came out so fast I couldn't really do anything to dodge it if I was within a certain range, or if I was in the middle of an attack myself, because you also need to be stupid aggressive in order to get through this fight. I ended up finally settling on Roger's Rapier with the Ash of War, doing the most amount of stance damage and allowing me to do. The problem with Roger's Rapier is I also have a set time limit of 3 minutes because I only have Radagon's Source Seal and the Dexterity Knot Crystal Tier. And the problem with the Crystal Tier is it has a 3-minute duration, so I can only use Roger's Rapier for 3 minutes, meaning I have to be very aggressive. That being said, it took a lot of stress off me having a constant stance breaking Malekith as well as my little skeletal summons who can take his aggro every once in a while. I hated everything about this fight, and I was ready to give up many times until I thought of new ways to try to fight him. I should also note at this point in time that I had stopped streaming this run because I did think it was impossible for me to complete, and I just kind of started recording my attempts offline until I ended up winning. So that's why you will see the lack of model as well as a lack of kind of flair that I normally have with my stream. One of the few runs where Gideon wasn't a problem. We picked up the Faith Knot tier and we had Frenzy Burst. We just Frenzy Burst Gideon from across the arena and take him out really quickly, very easily. It did still take me a few tries just because sometimes he gets close or heals or dodges. He's just an annoying boss. But he did go down without too much of a fight. The Giga Chad himself, Godfrey. With Godfrey's fight, it ended up being much more of a challenge than I had originally anticipated, and I was kind of happy, but also kind of disappointed that it was difficult. So with Godfrey's fight, I ended up going in with the Star Fists and Blood Flame Blade again, which can be applied to the Star Fists, not at the same time as Craig Blade though, which was a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. For this fight, I focused on light attacks while he was doing his stomps and other things, and heavy attacks right after anything I think I could get away with a heavy attack on. Building up bleed and stance damage until he starts his half phase 1 transition where he does a big thunder stomp. While he's charging up that animation, I hit him with a couple more heavy attacks to build up that posture damage even more, as well as build up a little bit more bleed. With all of the bleed and posture built up, when he enters phase 2, I should be able to immediately get a stance break, allowing me to hit another charged heavy and get a good chunk of Horalu's health bar out, because Horalu is insanely difficult at level 1. Basically, with Horalu's phase, if I can keep my Opaline Bubble tier, I just go ham. I play so risky, I go with hitboxes, and I just play overly aggressive to try to get Horalu done as quick as possible. Prolonging Horalu's fight is something that I just cannot do. I cannot survive Horalu's phase if I don't immediately end the fight. So that was my strategy. Radagon was one of the easier fights throughout this run, and the reason why is because physical damage is really good against him, and Craig Blade with the Star Fists charged heavies ends up doing a lot of physical damage. The big thing is he has a lot of AoEs that are kind of hard to dodge, but considering I was light rolling, they were a lot easier to dodge than initially would have been. That triple hammer slam that he does at the very end of it, it has a really large AoE attack, so you kind of have to circle around behind him and then do a last millisecond dodge. The timing is really tight and it feels like it's been changed recently. Apart from that, there's not really anything that Radagon can do to really offset me or surprise me at all, so it's just on to Elden Beast. I am insanely lucky when it came to Elden Beast. He never went to do rings or Elden Stars or anything else that could have been at all problematic to dodge. In fact, he actually stayed in melee phase the entire time. I have no clue how rare this is for this to be the outcome. I've never had this happen to me before, and I am so glad it did. It was only a few tries that I died to Elden Stars before I had this run. Apart from that, Elden Beast is pretty simple providing this happens to you, which just stun him repeatedly. Charged heavies, all it takes. Elden Beast is pretty susceptible to physical damage, and he does have a lot of health and he does run away, but as long as you just keep up the attack, you'll be good to go. Rune level 1 has been my crowning achievement, and I am very proud of myself for completing this run, and I ideally would have wanted to complete this run with more people on Twitch, but unfortunately, my eyes are really starting to run out, and I had to get this challenge done before I physically can't, and it was already to the point where I wasn't sure if I could do this. I'm just really glad I was able to. That being said, I am kind of retiring from doing challenge runs on Elden Ring. I will still be doing runs on Elden Ring and other Souls games. I will still be having fun. I just won't be doing any really difficult challenges. Like, I'm not going higher than Rune level 1 to do a no-hit challenge. That's just not gonna happen. So instead, I've been using cool weapons and doing like weird cosplay builds or other things like that of that nature, and going back and playing some of the older FromSoft titles. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Leave a like, maybe subscribe to come back, and I will catch you all in the next one.